So, with that, let me go ahead and change my stream info. Bear with me here a minute. Oops, no, wrong button. I don't want to rate anybody just yet. Okay. And all right, there's that. And let me go ahead and tweet as well. Tweety tweety. Sorry, bear with me just a sec. Doop-de-doop-doo, almost ready. I kind of hate doing this in the middle of the stream, but sometimes it has to happen. All right. So, next game on my list, as I have, I think I mentioned last night at the end of the stream, is Arcade Spirits. And I got my hands on this game last year at ECCC. I'd actually streamed the demo to this game a while back. But it is fully out now, and I have it, and I've been meaning to stream it, and now is the time to do that thing. So let's go. Oh gosh, sorry, hold on. Oh god, it's doing that thing that it does sometimes. Oh, why? Oh, because, there we go. Something completely different. Hey, there's Two Flower. with his custom emotes just for this game. Two Flower is, I believe, you're the writer for this game, right? Or one of the writers, the lead dev. What exactly is your job title, position? Actually, hold on. I'm going to set up my phone to keep track of chat because this game window is rather large and I can't really keep track of chat very well. Wow. What's is going on? You were summoned by my tweet, yes! There we go. Project director and co-writer, thank you. Yes, loud game is loud. Hold on, let me turn it down a little bit. There. Test, test. That seems better. Cool. Alright. Chat. There we go. Alright, great. In fact, well, since I may as well. Well, actually, no. I'm not gonna do full screen because I don't know how that'll make my video look. So yeah, let's just go with this for now, and I will just keep my phone on hand so I can watch chat. This music is rad, by the way. Love it. So, let's begin. I'm really excited to see how this game has progressed since the last time I played it, which was a demo. Very unfinished at the time, and now it's all done and cool. Database system online. New profile detected. Analyzing. New profile number 237771. Economic bracket, lower middle. Employment category, bleak. Current emotional health rating, low. It's on Spotify. Rad! I think I actually do have the soundtrack. When Enna gave me a card with a code for this game, and there were 2 other codes, and I think one of them was like the soundtrack, and one of them was like alternate costumes or something like that. I haven't really looked at them. In fact, let me check. What does Steam say? Does Steam show me my DLC? Because I know I put all of them on there. Additional content. Yeah, I have the soundtrack. Sweet. I'm gonna have to load that on my iPod. Anyway, that's for later. Ideal candidate for premium level assistance. Proceed? Negative. Premium level assistance re-requested. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. Overriding denial of assistance. Establishing premium services for profile number 237771. Justification. Hope. Hope should be rewarded. Spirit must be restored. Now compiling personal metadata. It's me! It's gonna be me. Alright, let's say name. We're gonna go Papaya. Chemist. Hair color. Oh my god, so many hair colors. I like dark purple. Pronoun is going to be she. Eye color is my eye color, which is blue. Lighter blue than that. Very light blue. That looks about right. Hairstyle, short, medium, long. Yeah, we'll go with long. We'll go skin tone. I am very pale. That looks about right. Clothing color. Yeah. I like green. Actually, wait, not hairstyle. Can I do my hair like a little bit more like my actual hair color, which is, well, it's supposed to be dark brown, but it's all gray and shit. That's kind of close. Now let's get it purple. I like my purple hair when I had it. It me! Name, Papaya Chemist. Pronoun, she. Is this correct? Yes. Premium level assistance for profile number 237771. Papaya Chemist has been activated. For the sake of her hopes and dreams. Yay! My hopes and dreams! You're playing this in the game discussion group. Oh, that's cool! The following is the word. Oh, whoops. I was too slow. Work of fiction. It doesn't Doesn't resemble anybody in real life. Two Flower is right there, and that's Peachy Enna on Twitter. Put your quarter up. It is the future year 20XX, a dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by evil, terrifying, utterly sinister... I don't know. Robots, maybe? Evil robots? How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. The future year 20XX is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. Non-flying cars, smartphones, pro-gamer celebs, internet trolls, personal assistant AI, cheese-flavored snack foods. Ooh, my favorite kind of snack food. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date I've had no part in any of them. I've worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and lifeguard for the local community pool. I don't care what era of human history you live in, kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing. Trust me on this. As for the bustling metropolis, the 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool. Let me show you. Behold, my quaint little apartment. Can't complain, really. It's paradise in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood stabbings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave lying around. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most of my family tree. Or at least I was, before today.
You got fired from another job? Seriously? Seriously? That's 3 jobs since we left the suburbs.
The horrified-looking young woman there would be my roommate and childhood friend, Juniper. Juniper's the one who spearheaded this effort to co-rent an apartment. She's also the one who encourages me whenever I lose a job. Like, you know, today.
I don't get why you aren't more upset about this. I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf. Come on, share the load a little, okay?
Pool's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? Oh. She didn't voice act that line. Because you actually enjoyed that job! More than you enjoyed dishwashing soap and smelly socks at the very least. I'm not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. That's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean the community center literally fell apart and the pool won't hold water anymore. Whatever, I'll just get another job. Any job will do, as long as we can make the rent, right? Wrong! I saw how mopey and tired you were coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling.
What's the point of us moving away from home if not to get away from all of that?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's an indie game. I'm aware the budget's not going to be enormous. So, only the important lines.
I mean, we both left that town so we could try to find happiness, right? I just want us to be happy. Both of us.
I thought you hated your job.
Come on.
No deflecting. This is about you. My mind's made up. We're going to find you a job that's just as good, if not better than the lifeguarding job. Look at her smile. She's so cute. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm standing in front of class to give a speech, and I forgot to put on my pants. And your dream job. Oh. I don't know, Juniper. I've never really given it any serious thought.
I've got it!
Oh, hey! I think I've got just the thing to help you out. Juniper pulls out her phone, rapidly tapping an unlock code onto the glass before pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he got the fuel mixture in his water gun right. Anyway, I'm sending a copy to you now. I got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? Well, as long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe it can point you at some good jobs. Ones with less socks and or urine. Fewer socks. I'll think about it. Okay, but don't think too long, right? In the end, I installed the app. Couldn't bear to see Juniper fretting over me like that. Not that I find it annoying. I mean, it's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life, too. Both of us had it rough, up to and through the point where we left home to try and start a new life. A better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Bless her heart, she means well. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life. The two of us against any dark forces aligning against me. But that's not to say she's good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic, yes, but skilled? Nope. Typically the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app was to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidneys sold in the black market or something. Still, no sense in messing around with it now. A good night's rest would act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. No dreams, no nightmares, just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. By the time morning light leaked in through the cracks in the blinds, I didn't care anymore about being unemployed again. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, but she'd left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Remember, download app, find dream job, make money, sort your life out. I believe in you. So, moment of truth. Do I trust in Juniper's weird little app or just go find some job that pays well enough to cover the bills? Oh, absolutely give the weird little app a shot. I have some standards in my job search. Figuring at the very least your miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I load it up, tap the icon, and...
Hello!
Huh. Okay, see, that's what I mean. Anybody else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh. Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here. Very normal in the distant future year of 20XX.
Thank you for downloading Iris, your personal life coach. This is the ad-supported free version, sponsored by Pizza Yums.
Ooh, Pizza Yums.
Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime?
My God.
Wow. Would you like to subscribe to Pizza Facts?
Yes.
Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts. I'm here to help you get your dream job, your dream house, and your dream partner. I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
Even that one? Sorry, what? What'd you do? Pretty tall order for an app to do. Or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Oh. Huh. That's weird. I wonder what setting I have that throttled that. Well, I suppose in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest.
Hooray!
That's super! I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already had a voice-activated assistant AI. I could just say, "Hey phone, search the web for job listings," and it'd work just as well. Ah, but I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program, with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding a perfect path in life. All thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. I just realized that Iris is Siri backwards. That literally just hit me right now. And I knew that she existed. Like, I knew about this character from before I even played this game. Just now realized that. Go me. Between you and me, they really wanted an acronym to match my name, but couldn't figure out what to do with the letter R. Would you like to know more? Yes, please. Also, Iris is voiced by Sigmaru on Twitter, who is cool. She does art streams and Final Fantasy XIV streams and stuff. She's never streaming when I'm finished streaming though, so I can't raid her. She's an earlier in the day streamer than me. But check her out anyway. She's cool. Here, give me the sales pitch. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. Oh, that's cool. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people. Quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Sounds to me like your programmer has also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct! My branding game is on point! Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just a thing for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground. But that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic, and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others, but they're sometimes a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means being blunt, confrontational, and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both? Who knows? It's up to you. So, what you're saying is I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy? Oh, and never speak basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Heck no! They're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you could say and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you can gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Now, let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? Hi, jokes. I'm dad. Seriously? Seriously? Hey, I never said I was good at dad jokes, just that I could go for them. So now that you've seen the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators. Keep it a surprise. That way it doesn't influence your decision making. It's up to you. Sure, let's use them. I like seeing that kind of thing in games when it's like in Mass Effect or whatever, or honestly, like a lot of BioWare games do that. Dragon Age had the whole, like, little icon. Dragon Age 2 had the little icons, which weren't very well explained, so I really appreciate that this game explains them all. That's a nice touch. Okay, you'll see indicators in all their glorious color. What if I'm colorblind? That's why they're also uniquely shaped icons. Don't worry, I got your back. Accessibility! Yay! I'm not colorblind, but definitely appreciate these options. And anybody who says accessibility features are bad is a fuck. Is a fuck. Is a fuckhead. I did not come up with a good insult. But yeah, screw those people. Renegade left hook, yeah. I need to actually play Mass Effect. I have the trilogy on PS3, but I've not gotten around to playing them yet. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now.
Good work.
Will you look at that? Such a strong personality. Yes, my 1 point in quirky. You asked me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or achievos as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies, or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the vast gain you're making in my daily life? Papaya, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise you that if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed, just relax and have fun. This is a very refreshing approach to the dating sim genre, where, like, frequently you have to make very specific choices to get the, to get in the good graces of the character you want. This is a much more, like, relaxed way of going about it, which is very cool. You can access your scorecard anytime you like with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right corner of your screen. And that's everything! Ta-da! Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roommate claims you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
Why, it'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
Yeah, that's a really cool choice. You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost, that's the rule.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your hopes and dreams. Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
Ooh. Romance? Seriously? Seriously! Often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. And hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kinda awkward. Yep! I was aware that of the no dating path, which is really cool. I'm probably not going to take it, not on my first time through, but it's super cool that that's an option. Or am I looking for love, ready to start right out of the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? Let's see. Let's do this. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one, at least. Romance without flirty first impressions. Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet loving can come later, if I feel like it. That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not. It's up to you, really. Now let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it! This is some kind of scam! I'm gonna wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
That command or file name?
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Another wonderful Juniper recommendation here. Just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time's the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Analyzing. Analyzing. So, do I just stand here, or...?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview. 30 minutes from now. Jeez. That was quick. Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those. Please. I don't think that's too much to ask. What? For your interview, silly. You want to look your best. But we just... How... Okay, how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple. I'm awesome like that. Now get a move on. Tut tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus. That's 5 minutes away. Well, this is happening. God, I wish job interviews, job applications were that easy. But I do have a chance to get off this runaway train. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could... Let's do it! Go, 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 go! A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right there rather than hop a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. But me, I can't talk. I was already getting dressed before she finished that sentence. It's not that I believe the silly app's claims to serving my hopes and dreams in a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job at best. But, well... What the hell? Let's do this! Juniper's right. I need to get my life in gear. So what's the harm in diving into something this wacky? Okay, there could be a lot of harm, granted, but the alternative is to mope around our apartment for weeks and... Sorry. But the alternative is to mope around our apartment for weeks, then, egads, go get a job anyway. So I thought, screw it. I'm in on this runaway train. Let's see how far it goes. And as I came to realize weeks later, turns out that was the best impulsive decision I've ever made. Zeroth Law Asimovian crisis in the making. Best crisis ever. Whole story. Law offices of Smith Johnson, attorney at law. Office space for rent. Wub sub. Office space for rent. Boring clothing store. Delightfully dull. Loan office. Pingy barbershop. Funplex. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into as tight a space as possible. Tight up a space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore called The Whole Story, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded up health spa once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds great.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. What do you think? I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly. What, behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Koreatown, yeah. Huh. Trust me on this. I referenced and cross-referenced and cross-cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job? Really?
99.97%.
With 99.97% accuracy, yes! I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs, 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, well... No wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always this popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. Extremely transparent reference there. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it'd have ruined video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. I love this alternate history divergence. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people in the darkest timeline where everything went wrong, Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? The mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy if you keep it more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Barcades, yeah. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but... I mean, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure.
99.97%.
Sure. Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying, but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in, 15 years. Huh. I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
My sources say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser targeted on getting you exactly what you need. Right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, what makes you think that's going to happen? Because it does. It always does. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest, and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. I mean, what the hell, why not? Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself when I walked out the door this morning, wasn't it? No matter how risky, I owed it to myself to jump in with both feet. And when it all came crashing down, well, I recovered before, I'll recover again. Meanwhile, may as well take the opportunity in front of me. So, I opted to push on through those doors and see what waited for me on the other side. Pew pew pew! The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit one smelling of copper and corn chips. As it's early in the morning on a weekday, it's not too packed with gamers, although it's so packed with games that I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone anyway. At once, I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from the looks of it, like really old. Snack Runner! Something of discomfort. Castle Crunch. Fight. Can't read that. Something. Can't read that either. Time Shooter. Fast Cars 5. Showtime Stage, aka DDR. I know a little bit about the characters in this game based on the demo, and I've got two favorites. I gotta figure out which one I'm gonna go after. Although I don't recognize that game with the stage lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke or dancing? A Japanese import?
My sources say yes.
Checking. That would be Showtime Stage, a collaboration of Nihana Heavy Industry Concern and Hubris Records in Germany. It's won a lot of awards. Huh. Oh, Fist of Discomfort. Pingy. Pinball. Skee Ball. Moopy. Panic. Wait. Did it say Panic Party? Parrot? I can't read that either. Master Golf. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously a Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze? But the one in the middle with the split screens is new to me. Fist of Discomfort, a hybrid real-time strategy and brawler beat-em-up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. Two genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. And over here is an old lady. Sorry, ma'am, I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, seated behind the ticket prize redemption desk, and offers a wrinkly smile.
Well, Hello there. Always nice to meet someone new in the Funplex.
The what?
Francine's Arcade Funplex. Didn't you see the sign out front, dear?
I love your earrings.
Well, I chose to knock off the first two words when they got knocked off the building during the storm of 1980. Now it's just the Funplex, I suppose. So, how can I help you, dear?
I was wondering how X is actually pronounced. 1980 bleep! I choose to believe that the voice actors actually say 1980 fuck or something like that. A Funplex? Is that when you suplex a clown? A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. Yeah, let's say that. A magical space fairy or something that lives in my phone told me to come here to find my dream job.
Hello!
Hello! I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I half expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me just to talk about Iris like that. But she took it in stride.
My, oh my.
Oh, hello! My, what they can do with the technology these days. I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have in 20 bleep bleep. Although I'd simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles to eat at my bottom line, she said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile.
Please, call me Francine. As in, Francine's Arcade Funplex. Get it? Actually, thinking about it, I suppose we were originally Frederick's Arcade Funplex, named after my dear departed husband.
Aw. R.I.P. Fred.
Sadly, he died peacefully in bed some years ago.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. He died doing what he loved. Having intensely physical relations with me.
Thank you for that. That's information I needed to know, yes. And you are? Papaya chemist, ma'am. Very well. Shall we retire to the office to conduct your interview? I'd carry on out here, but it is rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How do you deal with the constant noise anyway? Going out in style, right? We should all be so lucky. Oh, eventually you just sort of learn how to filter out all the beeps and the boops. It can take weeks to become acclimated, I've found, but in the end, done. She quirks an eyebrow. Well now, that's faster than the others. Not bad. So, shall we see what you're made of? This way, please. She does have needles. They're knitting needles. They're blunt, they're not going to hurt you. Or so we assume. Soda! Penguin there, baby! Francine leads me down a back hallway past public restrooms and into a door marked employees only. There shouldn't be an apostrophe there. Of course. It takes all my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe. Clearly, it takes more restraint than I have. She's gonna knit you to death. She's gonna knit you into the fabric of reality. Welcome to our little backstage oasis. I'd suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a bit too untidy. I don't blame the boy, he's been so overworked lately. Please, have a seat and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner may be, at least I'm confident that I can nail the interview portion of the proceedings. I've interviewed for a dozen jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weaknesses? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. Considering I ended up washing dishes, I'm not sure why, but the point is, I'm confident, prepared, ready. And then she'll...
You were a dinosaur. What dinosaur would you be?
Yep, just left field question. When I first interviewed to be a QA tester at Sega, the first question the interviewer asked me was Coke or Pepsi. My answer was Coke. Although I'm not really a huge fan of cola in general. I prefer, like, cream soda or something. But if I had to pick between Coke and Pepsi, Coke. What?
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Right. Okay, maybe this wouldn't be a typical job interview after all. You too are a person of culture, yes. Yes, indeed. No problem. Go with the flow. Let's do this. Yeah, pterodactyl! Definitely pterodactyl. Pterodactyl, soaring through the sky! I've always wanted to be a bird, so... Wait, no, all dinosaurs are basically birds. Let me rephrase. I've always wanted to be a flying bird, so pterodactyl. Swooping around, catching updrafts, staying way away from meat eaters. Really? How exciting! Even if, technically speaking, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs. What?
What's your favorite snack?
Snack? If this was a favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. It's tacos. Always tacos. But snacks,
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Pizza bagels! Say pizza bagels! When pizza's on a bagel, you can have... Hush, you. Come now, dear, I don't have all day. After giving it a good thought, well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos are also my favorite snack. A tasty apple with almond butter. Whatever munchies lurk in the depths of the vending machine. I do like apples. I've actually never had an apple with almond butter. I've only had apple with peanut butter. But let's go with that. That sounds great. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. If I'm hungry, I need something that's got enough nutrients and protein to carry me through the rest of the day. That's good. You know how to plan accordingly for any situation. You know what they say, you are what you eat. I'm fruity and nutty. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one.
What assets can you bring to the team during the inevitable zombie apocalypse?
Oh god. Is this interview for real or is this a dream? As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. You know what? Yeah. To be honest, I'd probably get eaten on day one. I wouldn't be of much help in the inevitable zombie apocalypse. At least I can throw myself into a horde of undead and you all can escape to live another day. Well, at least you're honest, and honesty is the best way to form trust. One more thing.
Why are you here?
The question is so simple and almost actually relevant to career planning that it takes me off guard. I told you, the magical space fairy in my phone sent me here to find a job.
You're seeking a job, true? But that doesn't really answer my question, does it?
No, you can't. But,
No doubt you think my interview questions are a bit silly, but I like to think of the Funplex as more than a collection of tasks and people to perform those tasks.
Oh, this game has controller support. I just realized. I accidentally bumped my controller when I leaned over. That's cool.
Most folks my age opening arcades at that time saw it as just another way to make a quick buck. But... well, I saw it as something else. Something more than a way to make a large pile of quarters. And I expect you'll find the others working here see it as something more too. Everyone has a dream they're chasing, dearie. And for my friends, it lies within the Funplex. Now, if all you want is a paycheck, I can provide that. But the last fellow in your position, that's all he wanted. And he didn't last long. So I ask you again, why are you here?
To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than why not. Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself. But that wouldn't cut it here. I needed to actually think this through. Confused silence. Let's go with this. I'm looking for hope. I haven't had much lately. Understand I'm not whining or looking for pity, but my life has been a complete mess for over a decade. In and out of jobs, taking what I can get, settling, compromising. Oh, there are some of those in this game. I know that for a fact. You may be pleasantly surprised with this game. I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago, but, well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. But, I mean, I agree with you though, like, I see what you're saying, and yes, there do need to be more dating sim games like that. Especially with female characters, because yeah, like, I'm thinking of Dream Daddy as an example. Like, there was one guy in that game, I forget his name, but he was like the big dude, like the big redhead. Dream Daddy isn't a good example because it's all men, or all the dateable characters are men, but yeah, like, there's usually going to be like one like chubby dude, and then everyone else is going to be like buff or skinny or average like dudes. But then when there's women, yeah, it's always like ideal women. Very few plus-sized women, if any. Very few like flat-chested women. Unless they're like lolies, which, you know, that's a whole other thing. Anyway, I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago, but, well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. That's why I'm here. I'm looking for the answer to your question. But I won't be daydreaming all the time, I promise. In my last job, I was a lifeguard. That takes a lot of focus. I'll be just as attentive in helping your, Funplex. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation, that. Also, what would be cool? Older women. Let us date older women. Let us date, like, moms. And such. Women's romantic lives do not end at the age of 30. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was betting Juniper would be dateable. My character was a lifeguard. I was not. Well, I mean, I guess not, but some people might. Some people are into older women. Or older men. As long as we're not in you know, minor territory. And an unusual step from such troubled waters to a land of make-believe. You enjoyed this role as a lifeguard, I take it? Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work. Which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I can offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised at the many ways one can save a life, even here. Very well, I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. I breathe easier at that. Probably the weirdest job interview I've ever had, to be sure, and yet it felt appropriate. Like it was about far more than just filling a slot on the payroll. Francine leads me back to the arcade floor to introduce me to my duties. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what duties this mystery job I'd accepted really involved. Francine gestures to the seat she was occupying previously, a stool behind the prize desk.
Oh, how marvelous.
Welcome to your new position, Papaya. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil toppers, rubber spiders, and tiny plastic toy cars on display. Well, for prizes at any rate. It's such a relief. I've really been stretching myself thin lately trying to fill in since the position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? There's something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500 ticket plush dolls down someone's throat.
Oh, such a shame.
Poor dear, he just wasn't cut out for this line of work. Grandson or no, I've no patience for such nonsense. I'm sorry, the last person to work this desk was your grandson? Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this talking's tired me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. Smile! Okay then. Let's save here, because I haven't saved at all yet. I adjusted my seating on the semi-comfortable stool, leaning against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. She does have a strong chin. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would be even slightly more engaging than being a diner dishwasher, but chose to look on the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that would become nostalgic memories for years to come. That's a good way of looking at it. Right? Any minute now. Smile's gone. Oh, I love that expression. I crave the sweet embrace of death. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty Funplex shot glass, or a colored pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, and so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I start wondering if one of those 500-ticket plushies could really fit down someone's throat. Or maybe not. Nope, just walking right on by me, his head buried in reading some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. Was he here to play? Doesn't seem like the typical businessman on a break, or unwashed and unemployed game aficionado. In fact, he's a snappy dresser. Seems a cool dude. Most guys I know are content to toss on a t-shirt and jeans. Not this guy. Even in an arcade, he's sharp like a linoleum knife. In fact, that rather pointed look he's offering me after doubling back is rather linoleum knifey too. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? You know what? Let's do that. I am Francine. I had some work done. Why, I am Francine, dear. The wonders of plastic surgery.
I think not.
Out. Now. Kidding, kidding. I'm Papaya. She hired me to work the desk. I'm her grandson's replacement. He doesn't look pleased with me jerking him around like that, but nods in satisfaction anyway.
Good to hear.
It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work the desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. He does have some muscles. Look at those arms. Dang. Oh, you got a rip in your pants, dude. What's going on there? So, she explained this job to James... So, she explained the job to you? Gave you the papers to sign? She said Gavin would handle that stuff. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper. I'm the business manager here at the Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business, rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
Yeah, Fast Cars 5. I was mentioning that earlier. Right, so, as you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes. But that's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that? You're the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. What, the carpets?
Seriously?
The floor. The arcade, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you're our second floor attendant, and Ashley will be in later, but we need two. One to roam, one to operate the desk. I do it myself, and I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. That's why Francine loved filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people I can't talk. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. And pumping iron, yeah. In his free time. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least. If things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently has a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever worked a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales. Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right. Well, you know how to keep your head when the customer doesn't, I hope. But anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Comprendo? Should it be comprende? This is my first pony ride, you can rely on me. It's not my first explosive ordnance test. I've worked retail and food service, and I've worked as a lifeguard at a pool. Managing stress in difficult situations, even life or death ones, is something I've got experience in. You can rely on me. Yeah, bother Francine! Bother, 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 bother! Gavin nods approvingly.
Indeed.
Good. I'd like to hear that. If you can handle yourself and exercise good judgment, you'll last a hell of a lot longer than the last guy who sat there.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimmingly.
Beautifully.
I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
No guarantees, but I'll try. Magical arc of what now? Gavin sighs again, a stress release gesture, but his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory, that this is more than just a job, more than just an arcade.
That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm curt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job. Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me? I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically.
You're a fixer.
The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives.
You like the hustle.
Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens. That includes Francine, who deserves better in her twilight years than desperately propping up a semi-failing business. So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, or you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard. Now, can I trust you to mesh with our merry misfits?
I'm still trying to figure out my why. To be honest, I'm still sorting out why I'm here, what my dream is. But I'm not here to step on anyone else's dreams in the process. I'm here to do my best at supporting everyone. Good to hear. I'd say we share similar views then. It'll be a pleasure to work with someone who's actually enthusiastic and competent. And hopefully this hive of weirdness will help you find your dreams along the way. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically you shouldn't be working until we've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but... crossed the I's and dotted the T's. But since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate. If you're willing to fudge things a bit and work today anyway, it'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi likely could use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, that sounds like Naomi. Her workshop's through that door there, the one next to the UFO catcher. The crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin heads in the back, presumably to the office to go crunch some numbers. If Francine's really taking a nap back there, hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be, but he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where he's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi that he mentioned. Although I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door, also marked employees only, also with an apostrophe, leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. I turn the handle and step inside. In a little room tucked away between the back offices and the Funplex front, I find what is very likely this Naomi, spoken only of in myth and legend. Should be spoken of only. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh, I didn't realize they had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metals fills the air at the poorly ventilated workshop. Open a window! Excuse me. For a lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried no matter what I did, she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense.
Oh.
Hello? Time to die from fumes, right? Open a window, it's important.
Hey, you know this room is for employees only.
That pout. She said with no apostrophe.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
I'm Papaya Chemist. I'm the new floor attendant starting today.
Oh! Hi. I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text. Oh, whoops.
She spares a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench where a huge stack of green notification messages lie in wait. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. This room is right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering how completely and utterly dedicated she was to that monitor, not even noticing me, I guess that's also why. But what I first noticed is her smile. Even when squinting to see the tiny components on that circuit board, even when laser-focused, she was smiling happily.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Funplex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
She is cute. Yeah, I know. Second option, that's a dick move. I'm not gonna say that. He's busy doing strange things with numbers.
Ugh, yeah, that sounds like Gavin. I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
Really? What happened last time?
Oh, well, I dropped it.
Oh, right. She helps me lift the large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of the nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back up to other wires. There's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden shell. This is the first time I've seen inside one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple large slabs of circuits, and that beefy monitor. Nacho dip. Let's not. She'll probably be upset if I suggest that. Why is it so empty in there? Seems inefficient. Couldn't you pack more games into the arcade if it was more compact? Not really. It's more about the footprint on the floor than the vertical height. Ah, right. And I removed the flirty first impressions. So I guess there should actually be 3 options there. Right, yeah. Interesting. Now I feel like I should have chosen the flirty ones just so I could see them, but hey, that's what more playthroughs are for. Naomi keeps working, using a pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks.
Let me explain.
I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down. But I prefer American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the keyring at her side, then steps back to admire her handiwork. There's genuine joy in that smile. Not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing like it's a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
Ooh, I love the classic Midway style. Look at those sharp angles, the side art decals, the bold font on the marquee, the bezel artwork. The what on the what and the what artwork? With a sigh, Naomi points out key features to me. The strip across the top with the game title, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? How beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. As for me, well... I agree, it's beautiful in its own way. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, this box of wooden circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing. The art, style, and of course the game itself. All of it part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it in an emulator or on a game console instead, it's made lesser. Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good! Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny.
Woohoo!
Finally! So few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is going to be great! Especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin?
I don't know.
Okay, well, don't get me wrong, I can get along with him, generally, but his whole attitude just... ugh.
Ugh.
All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. If anybody's gonna ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. That doesn't sound right. He seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me that whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here, a long-standing argument that the new gal really shouldn't get involved with. Seems like a good time to save. I should wrap it up in a bit too. Let me find a good place to end, I think. Jennifer Aniston in Office Space. Never saw that. I'll take your word for it. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? If I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin, I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. So I'm not sure I should prod at it, but I kind of want to know too. Yeah, let's find out more. I get this is touchy, but if I'm going to work here, I think we should all be honest with each other. No gossiping. So I gotta know, why do you think Gavin wants to destroy the arcade? He buys into Francine's idea that this is a place for dreams. He says he does, but he's willing to sacrifice way too much just to keep the whole thing afloat. Road to hell, best intentions, etc. If he had his way, this place would be like Deco's Palace. Nothing but ticket games and prize catchers. He thinks actual video games are too expensive, a waste of floor space. I bet he'd remove them all if he had his way. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him to do the right thing. But that's my problem, not yours. Sorry to drop gossip on your head like this. Thanks for hearing me out anyway. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of gal. Well, a strong gal, at least. Well, you're a gal. That's enough. I'm semi-insulted, then? Okay, let's get to it! Right, a little to the left now. My left! You're right! Careful! Now, forward. Right. Correct, I mean, not turn to the right. Keep it coming, and there! Carefully, tip it into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheel dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again.
Yeah!
Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear I've been working on that monitor for ages. Those tubes are finicky as heck, and I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback. But thanks for helping me out, Papaya. I think you're gonna do just great here. Happy to Oh, right. Stomach growling. Food required. Except, I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Now I'm just talking here, but if you have pizza on a bagel... Shh! Hey, so any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... Oh, no, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheapo Wub Sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know! Wait, right here. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole. Lunchtime! Here you go! She presses a boxed lunch into my hands. It's a bento box! I learned how to make them for my mom, who lived with her mom back when I lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good, healthy things. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Oh, such an anime trope. I made too much! You can have it, but it's not because I like you or anything! No, I don't think Naomi's a tsundere type. Not yet, anyway. Sure, why not? And yet, when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What'll you have for lunch, then? Oh, I can just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole story next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important.
See ya.
See you after lunch! I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for this arcade. She's got a love for these games and it shows. And giving me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too. Armed with a box of health food, I retired to the employee lounge to get my munch on. That seems like a good place to stop. We will pick up next week. I'll save right here. Yeah, we'll continue next week. Next Tuesday, we'll be playing this game for the foreseeable future, until I finish it at least. I don't know... Well, like I said, I mean, I don't know much about how this game plays or what kind of runtime it is, how long it takes to get through a single path, but we'll see if I do multiple playthroughs. So I guess we'll find out. So... yeah, it really was. This is great, and I've been looking forward to playing this game for a while. So, yeah, thank you, Twoflower, for showing up. I'll be doing this again next week, like I said. Tomorrow will be Reciteer. If you haven't had enough cute today, we're going to do cute again tomorrow for Reciteer. And then next week, we started Legend of Kyrandia, because we finished Full Throttle, so we're going to do more of Kyrandia next Monday, and more of this on Tuesday. And, yeah. So, in the meantime, let's see. Ooh, Yoki the Monk is playing Shiren the Wanderer. I need to play that game. That looks awesome. I keep seeing, like, I see occasionally people playing it, and I'm like, this looks like so up my alley. I need to play it. Let's go over to him. And, yeah. Thank you for coming by, everybody, and I hope you had fun tonight. And, yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Yay! Arcade Spirits. It's cool. I'm looking forward to more of this. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Have a great evening. Or morning.